hang on one more second. In the meantime, I will load game. Right now the ad is loading up. I have to wait for that. So as you can see, this is the very beginning of the game. Just started, and this is past the intro cutscene. So I'm gonna leave it here while I check once again. Okay, everything seems to be okay with this stream. The only thing I would want from Twitch is a way to use the Twitch app for chat and for checking your own stream. As someone who just started streaming, I think that is the #1 thing I want. It's only semi-useful for doing that, and it's like unreliable because it takes much longer for it to show up, at least for your own channel to show up on the Twitch app. Yeah, okay, I think only just now it showed up, and I can actually have it running, as well as the chat, like on a tablet. Otherwise, I would have to do something like either a second screen setup or like a laptop or something next to here instead of the app. Anyway, enough of that. Just get right into the game problem. So this is a completely fresh, from the beginning run of Dark Souls. I've played this game for the first time about a year ago, a little over a year ago, and since then I've grown to really love the game and appreciate what it's doing. It's a I guess a cult favorite. It's kind of not very well known in the mainstream, but it is doesn't make it any less of a masterpiece, at least in my opinion. So here's basically the tutorial. We have these little messages on the ground, just telling you what to do. So ostensibly, you'd follow this and then attack the enemies here. Start out in the Undead Asylum. You basically have nothing besides just whatever your starting equipment was from the character creation screen. You don't really have to kill these guys. For purposes of the tutorial, they're there for you to wipe out, to just clear. So actually, one of the things I did not show you guys is when you hit start game, the first thing you see is the character creation screen. That's actually what I was doing yesterday. I was creating my character, and I was hoping to stream yesterday. But the actual process of creating my character turned out to take a whole lot longer than I expected. Just blew right through the time that I allotted for myself to stream yesterday. Which is why I am streaming fairly early today. Usually would not stream like this early. I would probably stream at a time that's more, or that other people would be able to watch. Right now there's probably a few people probably even tune in. So yeah, I created my character yesterday. It took a long time. And after the character creation, you see the intro cutscene, and then you start out in the cell, which is what you saw at the beginning there. You start out right there, and that's where I just paused the game and ended it so that I could stream later on. Yeah, this was the first time I actually put a lot of time and effort into creating a character. Usually I just use more or less a stock character, just very little customization. Here I wanted to try to create a character that I wanted, or more crafted to what I want. So I delved into that character creation system, and then I actually had to scrap my character all over again because if you mess around with it too much, it actually distorts the face so much that you can't actually go back and fix it. So it's like on this character, the nose, or the inside of the nose right here, ended up becoming so concave that basically not recoverable. I couldn't restore it back to the normal nose, so I learned my lesson and figured I should. If you're wondering why I'm not moving on from here, because I'm talking and I know what's going to happen because I played this game before. But anyway, so let me finish my thoughts before I move on. So I had to start over in order to get the normal nose, and I guess I tried to recreate the character I made with fewer steps so that it would not get distorted. And then I didn't get it quite what I wanted, but I got it as close as I would hopefully get. Now, so get away. So can actually fight this guy. Alright, that's what I did on my first playthrough. I would try to fight this guy, but you can't really do anything to him. This big guy behind this door, so I already knew that I would have to run away on here and go back to him later. So I guess for first time people, actually before I'll use this opportunity to just double check, because the Twitch app is completely failing me. Again, like when I was streaming my previous game that I streamed a few weeks ago, I stopped using the app and just switched to a browser version on the laptop. But I was hoping that it would have gotten improved by now. I guess not. Twitch is not really, for the app, they're not really serving the streamer. They don't have like a broadcaster centric app. They're more serving the viewer, people who want to view streams. It's not very helpful for people who actually do streams. So that's unfortunate. So bear with me while I double check on the stream. Alright, I'm back. Actually, when I just went to check the stream and it said I was offline, so I'm not actually sure how much is missing or like when it cut out. But hopefully I can like hopefully it wasn't that much. I just started this, and won't be that big of a deal. If not, what I will do is probably head back to where I was and just start like as from there as part 1. Just like try to recreate it. It won't be like pure thing, but I just have to work with the technical difficulties that I'm coming across. It might be because I've been alt-tabbing out of the game that it's like screwed up here. But maybe I'll just start it from here if that's what I have to do. So yeah, this will be part 1 of my playthrough of Dark Souls. Kind of awkwardly beginning because of possible technical difficulties. But yeah, I'm Sammy, and I'm starting up a new run of Dark Souls now that the game has ported over to Steam. And it's actually my 3rd playthrough of the game. I haven't played it in about it's my 3rd playthrough, but it's been a while since I last played it. I last played about 9 months ago, I think. I would say 10 months ago. So while I do in general know what I'm doing, probably will have forgotten enough stuff that I can actually it'll feel like a fresh run for me. So, for those who don't know, Dark Souls is it's an action RPG made by a Japanese developer called From Software, and although it's made by a Japanese developer, they specifically wanted to make a Western style RPG. So a Western style action RPG. Action RPGs are far more popular in the West and for Western gamers than they are in Japan. I mean, it's not really as cut and dry as Japanese RPGs are say turn-based RPGs with combat where you take turns and it's not real time, and while Western RPGs are real time like this with action heavy combat. But yeah, that was their goal, and this is essentially the result of this game. It's a game that was made in 2011. Quickly became a cult favorite. I knew that was coming, but I tried to get out of the way. I should have just like dropped over like this, like over here instead of. No matter. It's not a huge deal. That really got me the first time. That whole cannonball thing. Maybe cannonball is not the right word for it, but this steel ball. I think the goal of that was to give you a hard lesson in paying attention to your environment. So if you're not paying attention, you will get hit there. Get hit like I just did, how I did the first time. Might not learn that right away, but the game is not afraid to keep on telling you that lesson if you don't figure it out. Also, another thing I missed, very clearly missed, after I got hit there the first time, is like, you know, I would continue on like here, and I would kind of get stuck because, well, you can't go through this door right now. And let's see, can I go from here? Yeah, you can open here. You can open this, but there's also right now? Yeah, you can't open it. You can't go back from there, so I kind of got stuck the first time around. So besides paying attention to your environment and making sure that you don't get hit by traps like that, as there will be many situations just like that where you can get hit by a boulder if you're not being, or if you're not paying attention. It's also pay attention to how the environment changes as you go through. So the boulder, the metal, for lack of a better word, cannonball trap opened a way into this room. It knocked out this wall, and there's a guy to talk to.
Oh, you. You're no hollow. Hmm? Thank goodness. I'm done for, I'm afraid. I'll die soon, then lose my sanity. I wish to ask something of you. You and I are both undead. Hear me out, will you? Regrettably, I have failed in my mission, but perhaps you can keep the torch lit. There is an old saying in my family: thou who art undead art chosen, and thine exodus from the undead asylum maketh pilgrimage to the land of ancient lords. When thou ringeth the bell of awakening, the fate of the undead thou shalt know. Well, now you know. And I can die with hope in my heart. Oh, one more thing. Here, take this. An Estus flask. An undead favorite. Oh, and this. Now I must bid farewell. I would hate to harm you after death. So go now, and thank you.
Another thing I didn't know about, or I didn't figure out right away my first playthrough, is that you can talk to characters multiple times, and that you really should talk to characters multiple times.
Now I must bid farewell. I would hate to harm you after death, and thank you.
In this case, it's not that important. You just repeat the same thing over again. But there will be instances later on when it's better to. So he's gone. As he said, he bids farewell and he's passed on. Of course, another thing that confused me was, hey, I just killed this guy. Why is he back? It's because I went back to the bonfire. Whenever you do that, you receive all your health back, but the enemies also respawn. So it's kind of a trade-off. You have to, if you want your health back, you can do that at a bonfire, but resting at bonfires revives enemies as that is right there. So again, more tutorial messages. RB while falling, then that's going to be useful when I go through that fog gate. So I'll obviously teach you how to parry and riposte. Really try and practice that. It's been since I last played Dark Souls. I've played Dark Souls 2, and the way the parry works is a little bit different, so yeah, there we go. I'm gonna have to get used to doing parry all over again. Speaking of the parry in Dark Souls 2, I think the parry in this game, the counter in the parry system, the countering, riposting, in general in this game just feels a whole lot better. Just the sound, I think it's just mostly centered around the sound that it makes. Is that it's more of a, when you successfully do it, it's more of a resonant, you know, bang, a resonant thud. Whereas in Dark Souls 2, it's just like this, like ping, ping, high pitched, and just feels less powerful. And that and the counter in general just takes a little bit more skill to do in this game. You have to like do the counter and then immediately attack. And if you do it wrong, then you leave yourself open. Before I face this, I actually want to go back. I think I'm just going to end the stream for a little bit and check on it. Check on the archive to make sure everything's going alright. But I'm also going to set up my laptop for the chat and all that. I was really hoping I could use the app on my tablets for that purpose, but fortunately it's failing me, so I'm just going to do what I did last time and go with my laptop. So I'll be back just a little while.